Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to tonight's call on the scary truth why most business owners struggle to succeed. I'm Natasha Denman, so please ignore the Donna Brown management name here on the panel. And next to me, I have Stuart, who's joined us as well.
Donna Brown.
No, he's Stuart Denman. And he will be assisting me in imparting the insights we have got pulled together for you guys tonight. A month ago, we ran a very popular webinar, and as always, I love my variety and looking at things from different perspectives. So therefore, I decided to pull this one together and share these insights because I did something similar like this about 2 or 3 years ago when I had been in business only about 2.5 years, and I thought I've grown a lot more since then and seen a lot more people continue to struggle, and I have new insights around it that I would love to share with my community because this webinar was promoted purely to our community, and as we said, oversubscribed. Over 300 people have registered, and basically we're not sure if we're going to cap out here tonight. But before we get going on the call, I just want to cover off a couple of logistics. I promise I will get you out on time, as I always do. However, I will stick around for any unanswered questions at the end. Why don't you say hello and use the question box? Perhaps tell me where you're from. What's your city, and perhaps what was the weather like today? What was the temperature where you are? I have connected with quite a few people in the US, and they were emailing me the last 2 or 3 days when we posted this webinar, and they said, "Are you sure it's like at 3 a.m. in the morning?" And I said, "Hey, we're in Melbourne, but we'll try to get a recording out to you after the call." So just to make sure I'm not speaking to myself, just as hello or where you're from. Here we go. They're coming up now. Just as those are coming out, before I say hello to everyone, something you need to be aware with GoToWebinar, sometimes people may lose the audio at their end. And it usually is poor bandwidth at your end that usually when we lose audio at our end, the system will pre-warn us and we know to stop and therefore continue on. So do avoid posting up comments like I can't hear you or I've lost you, because usually that means it's your end, and if it was ours, then we'll apologise when it comes back up. But we do have fairly good internet. I've run at least 10 webinars from our new house. We've been here the last month, and usually that's the case because it sometimes floods the chat box, and I can't see all the other questions amongst all of that. Perfect, and a lot more people have joined as I'm welcoming this call. So we've got Jonathan from Brisbane, and he was worried that he got the times wrong with daylight savings. And yes, there might be a few people here tonight that will miss it because of daylight savings has started in Victoria. Hey, Jess from Kiama, it was 18 degrees. Wow, windy. We had 25 here. We spent the whole day with Stuart driving around.
I feel like I've driven to Sydney and back today.
We drove to the airport to try to pick up the 2016 planners that I had designed overseas and had them delivered. However, customs would not clear them. I had to get a special customs broker to get them cleared, and $600 later, I'll be able to pick them up tomorrow. But it's all good, guys. And they're coming. By the way, there's a few people on the call here that have ordered them, so you will be receiving them mid to late next week. Ballarat from Nicole, nice to see you. Megan, also from Ballarat, beautiful weather there today. I was there a few weeks ago. Abby from Adelaide, nice to see you. Hey, Terence, and Maureen from Brisbane. So mostly from, obviously, Australia, because it's the perfect time for us to be on this call, isn't it? Kids have gone to bed and we're here to have a chat. Hey, Vanessa from Melbourne. Maureen, say hi. Hi, Stuart. And hi, Sharma from Belgrave in Melbourne. Thanks, everyone, for saying hello. So let's get this show started. And what we'll do is we love questions. We love comments. I am pretty good at multitasking on webinars. For those of you that don't know, I've hosted minimum 200 as a facilitator or as my own private webinars or communities. For those of you that don't know me, I host a 9 a.m. coffee chat with our Ultimate Business Support group, which I run on Facebook. So there's, I can pretty much manage it all. And also Stuart here will manage the chat box with me. as well as share his insights on what we've seen over the last 5.5 years. But if we rewind the clock a little bit, where it all started, just for those of you that are fresh to get to know me, I was born in Macedonia. I didn't speak a word of English, and I moved to Australia at the age of 14 in 1991. And one thing that the reason I'm telling you this, and I often share this, the biggest insight my mum has ever given me is the saying that every beginning is hard. And that was really, really relevant for me when I first started out in business, to remember that and to keep reminding myself that in the early days, it's meant to be hard, it's meant to be unfamiliar, it's meant to be awkward, and to do my damnedest hardest to take action, and that if it didn't work, then I wouldn't be disappointed because I have taken and tried. You know what they say, it's better to have tried and failed than not to have tried at all. So my journey began from there, and obviously Stuart is Australian, and I met him here about 12 years ago, and we have three beautiful children, Judd, who is 6, Mika, who's 4.5, and Zara, who's 10 months. This is what a little bit of our business journey looks like. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes telling you about that, not too much into our story because we have got a lot to share through the content. So started in business in May of 2010, and originally I have had a brand that's not even on this slide because it was a total flop. It spoke nothing to no one. It was the name PRS Coaching. Actually, funny enough, we walked into the bank today so we can get Stuart finally put on as a second signatory on the business account, and my old very first name is still on my card, PRS Coaching. Go, could you please change this to Ultimate 48 Hour Author? And finally, like I said, people are getting billed from PRS Coaching. They don't know who they're getting billed from. So we changed. I've rebranded. My biggest shift in my business was the publishing of my very first book, The 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, and niching as Ultimate Weight Loss, Lose the Last 10 Kilos, which, as you can hear, is very specific, a very small, well, seems like a small market, but it's not. It's very deep. It is a tight niche around the weight loss industry, however, very deep in terms of how many people out there want to lose those last 10 kilos. And I did that for a couple of years until we got to a point where obviously I ran out of time and I needed to get smarter, and therefore licensing the system and creating a business in a box, which is what ended up getting Stuart to quit his day job 3 years at Christmas now. So as things progressed, my passion was always to be a business mentor or a coach, if you like, because weight loss and the personal development style mindset coaching was a vehicle to get me to do what I do now, which is the personal branding and the credibility building, and certainly helping all of these people we've now helped through the Ultimate 48 Hour Author retreats, coming in at 85 now, and we had 4 new people join us this week as well for the next couple of retreats, which is fantastic. Have published 5 books. The 6th one is on the way. And last year I was nominated, actually not just nominated, a finalist in the Osmompreneur Awards for product innovation, which was really, really exciting. So I have seen quite a lot of things on this journey, as I have attracted a lot of clients who have had a lot of challenges and struggles to build their businesses, after trialing many, many different things. So we all have challenges. Okay, so I want to touch base with you now and stop for a couple of minutes to post up what are your main challenges with your business right now, because we all have them. It's not like just because we run a successful business, that doesn't mean there aren't challenges around, perhaps sometimes lack of time. I mean, I spent I did 12 events in 10 days last week, and I came home super exhausted. And halfway through that tour, I thought, why do I do this to myself? But then I connect with people and it lifts my energy. And I know it's totally worth it, because the results and the compounding of what I did is coming through, and it's continuing to to really gain momentum. Nicole said getting new clients is one of her challenges. And Maureen says sealing the deal, making the sale. I seem to bomb out at this point frequently.
There's another making the sale one. So, yep.
Yep.
Okay, converting a sale.
Yep. Vanessa says getting out there and developing my brand, so perhaps developing that credibility. There is obviously people saying getting some leads. Megan's saying public awareness. People don't know what a trichologist is. Yes, Megan, I can't wait to spend a couple of days with you soon, which actually I will be telling everyone about at the end of this course. So that's really cool. And a trichologist is very, very interesting and a unique niche, which I can't wait to play around with you. Hey, Lucy, nice to see you as well. Abby says matching my brand with the market. Nice. James says too much time on my hands and becoming complacent. So maybe like how do you motivate yourself to keep going and is being more creative and keep taking action. Megan says, for those of you that don't know, a trichologist is the scientific study of hair and scalp disease. And it is, and it's really, really cool, what she does and how she can monetize that. And that's what we'll be doing in the masterclass coming up soon. So thank you guys for sharing. One last one, setup of social media and basic marketing and business setup. Yes, and Lucy's at the start of her journey, so certainly those would be your initial challenges around all of this. Look, sorry, I've just flicked back through all the slides. My particular challenges when I was early in business was certainly, no one knows me from a bar of soap. I have no credibility. I haven't had any clients yet. I need to go out there and say, look, I help people like blah, 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 and this is what I do. And there is a certain level of fake it till you make it when you're in those first 6 to 12 months of business. And the one thing that really has made the biggest difference is if someone says, what do you say that has been the secret to your success? Well, it's not a secret. Everyone knows that I'm action girl and I just keep taking action, and it doesn't matter how many times I fall, I still keep taking action because the 9 things that I do that don't work, I'll find the one that does, and then I'll rinse and repeat that one action. But let me reveal to you what the problem is and what I have found why a lot of new business owners struggle, and what I keep seeing time and time again to break through. And I think I've already kind of revealed what the solution is. However, I want to really delve into the 7 key problems that I see occurring time and time again that prevent people from actually moving forward. So the very first one is over-investing and under-implementing. So what do I mean by that? Well, I've seen it on my journey. Obviously, I won't name any names. I won't, talk about any specific companies or people. But I constantly see people thinking that this next course or this next program is going to be the solution to my business struggles. And they go and do that course and they get motivated and they feel quite, active for a couple of weeks and a couple of years saying guilty. And then life gets in the way and the implementation stops. And then they perhaps go to another training and they get upsold to the next stage. And then again, they're motivated for a little while and then it's all too hard and they stop taking action. So what I have, don't get me wrong, because some of the other points you will see that I actually say the other problem is not investing at all. And what I have done personally is I certainly have invested, and you will see towards the end where I say I have invested about $100,000 in my education and mentors over the last 5.5 years. But have I earned that back tenfold? Absolutely, probably more than tenfold now. And however, I've never invested into any courses more than without a significant time in between them. My very first course cost me $15,000. That kept me going for a couple of years because there was so much information to learn within that course as well as implement. I went to a marketing masterclass and then I followed through on that information. I have had 3 mentors on my journey over the 5.5 years. Collectively, I've probably worked with them for 4 years all up. There was little gap periods, if you like. and always had said to myself that I'm not going to pay money to someone and not take action, because that's not me dealing with the problem. So sometimes what I find is people think they're doing something about their problem when they're really not. So that by paying someone else, they think they're doing something about the problem, but they're not. Yeah, you agree, Stuart?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next one, jumping steps too early. Okay, so jumping steps too early, what do I mean? Well, some people say, for example, they just start out and go, oh, I should get some publicity, or I should do some Facebook advertising. SEO, search engine optimization, that's a good one.
Without a sales funnel.
Without any sales funnel, well, even publicity, you need a sales funnel, because if you are going to get publicity, how are those people going to be nurtured and taken through to the steps for you to get them as clients? So people who are in their first year of business are trying to do year 4 or 5 types of strategies and thinking, why isn't it working? Or, hey, I got this gig, but it didn't convert into sales. I paid out all this money on Facebook advertising or SEO, and it's really not bringing in clients. So what I always say, and sometimes there is self-sabotage patterns that we talk about as well, is that's why you get a mentor, is for them to look at what you're doing and go, hang on, this is your logical next step. Don't go too far ahead.
And one of the most interesting things I see with this, I've worked with a lot of men that have been very successful in corporate world. So they've been able to climb the ladder very high. They've been fantastic at what they do in that space. They go then start their own business. So it can sometimes be the people that have been most successful in a way you'll call most savvy that actually make this mistake, because they think they know everything, so they can immediately jump into these later steps in business, whereas you're needing to go back and start again if you're actually going to do it as your own business.
Correct. And also another aspect of that is because within a corporate structure, they're already doing those things. So they think, hey, I need to do these things also in my small business to model what big guys are doing, but really it's not the right step. And they're investing money where it shouldn't be invested. All right, here we go. That's the next step that contradicts, if you like, the first one. However, not investing at all is also a problem. I can do it all myself. I'll just work it out. It's all trial and error. Yes, and I know a person as well who's been in business for 12 years, and she's still making the same income year after year, haven't grown or leveraged the business because she keeps saying, I can do it all myself. I can do it all myself. I don't need anyone to tell me. I like to follow I make my own rules and all that sort of stuff. So not investing at all is also a problem, because there are those people that can help you to move from A to B to the fastest way possible. However, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't get caught up in the trap where you're investing too much. So there has to be a good level of, okay, this year, what's my budget for education and mentors? And therefore stick to that budget. And then once you have made good use of it and progressed, then get on to the next mentor or project that you like to do.
And just quickly, Nat, and in that as well, don't just invest in mentoring or a program or for someone just because they're going to make you feel good. I've seen a lot of, and I'll call them women posses, girl posses, whatever, and everyone, it's a love fest. We all love each other, and that's great. But are they actually challenging you and giving you the things that you really need to be doing, which are out of your comfort zone? So do things that are uncomfortable, not things that are comfortable.
Yeah. And you don't have to actually like every single person that you work with. I have been in a situation where I haven't liked every single person that I've done a program or worked with, but that doesn't mean I don't respect their expertise and what they can teach me. And sometimes that can be a challenge, but that's okay, because I've gotten what I needed to do with them and then have moved on. Megan just said, if it's hard, you're learning. Or another way of making a decision, if it makes you feel sick, that means go. That's one that Rachel put together. And Rachel Sheldrick, one of my authors, said to me, sick means go. And I thought, wow, I've never put it that way, but that's also how I make my decisions. Okay, next one is waiting for ducks to line up before I do. So many people, and I hear it so much, I guess, in my industry around authoring. I will write my book when such and such happens. I will do it for this particular, when this happens, I will do that. When this happens, I will do that. And usually our ducks are never lined up. The best time to start doing something is when you're not ready, because that's where this reflects back on the previous comment about sick means go. Therefore, waiting for your ducks to line up. Hey, when I get those 10 clients, then I'm going to get a mentor. No, you won't, because if you're a mentor yourself, for example, because obviously mentors have mentors and so on, if you're not paying for mentoring, don't expect to get people attracted to you that are going to want mentoring from you. That's a big insight that I've experienced on my journey, especially. All right, doing the wrong programs that make you feel good. I think this is what you were talking about, Stuart,
Yeah.
but don't have structure and steps. So we like to call those specific programs. Look, there's personal development stuff where we're improving ourselves as people that are important. Don't get me wrong, but doing fluffy programs to just continue feeling good without any structure, steps, or real hows to get you the infrastructure you need to build around your business. Now that is crucial and key for you to succeed, because I think you need two parts to this puzzle to be a successful business owner. You need to have the mindset, certainly, and this is where the personal development comes in. But after a certain level, once you have sorted your own shit, you need the structure and the hardcore steps that are going to give you the strategies to build that business to whatever level you have imagined it to. And that's where once you've hit a certain level in your business, to break through to that next level, you've got to get uncomfortable again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if your accountant's driving a Datsun 180B or your financial advisor's driving a Corolla, ask yourself, is this the right person that you're actually with?
Yeah. Big problem is fear of success and standing out. And this is one of the major reasons why I'm doing the Ultimate Brand Accelerator Masterclass later this month. There's a couple of you that are on the call are coming along to that. This is going to be the most amazing 2 days we're going to spend together, because Stuart and I mapped it all out. We did our whole run sheet, if you like, all the little exercises. And it's actually, this whole training is about overcoming that fear of success and standing out. But at the same time, getting a 50-page workbook that's going to give you so many different hows to do the different strategies that you're not going to walk away with just the fluff. So the fear of success and standing out is huge. A lot of people hold themselves back because of, what if I get found out? What if I'm not good enough? And that's the biggest thing within people's minds. It's like, well, is the stuff that I'm teaching or that I'm putting out there the correct, or the information, what if it's not good enough? And who says it's not? You're going to have just as many people supporting you as you're going to have people talking badly of you. So it really is there's no such thing. I think it's only fear, as we know, is false.
And very quickly, people, their first response is always, no, I don't want my business to fail. I don't want to fail. But it's actually, as Nat says, it's when we get down to it, it is that fear of success. They're more scared of that than they actually are of failing.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, this is way bigger than failure. And then the last one is limiting beliefs around money and self-sabotage. Thanks, Maureen. Yes, she says, so true. By the way, guys, please let us know. Are we on the right path? Do you fit into perhaps some of these, or have you fit into them in the past? Because I know I have been caught out on a couple of different pointers right
Quite
here.
a few yeps and yeses coming through immediately.
Yeah. So the last one was limiting beliefs around money and self-sabotage. I'm going to address that a little bit later on the call in our last point that we promised I would deliver to you guys tonight. But it's about breaking through that money blueprint, if you like, and there's different stages of it. So just as you think, hey, I'm good, I'm making six figures, everything, I've broken through, say, making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, how come I can't grow anymore? What do I need to do? And then it's another stage of breaking through another level of that. And then self-sabotage occurs because of certain reasons, which I'm going to discuss a little bit later on. I'm just going to stop for a couple of comments that have come through. Jonathan says, wasn't aware you were profiling me. I think we're so similar as human beings, everybody. And I think sometimes someone just needs to say it and for you to.
But you've got to be in the right stage of your life to actually hear it. People
exactly.
have probably been telling you this for the last 5 years.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, if you're not ready to hear, there'll be a certain point when you're ready to hear it. And then when you're ready.
For some of you on the call, the penny will drop tonight and you will just make certain decisions.
And it's also cool. Some of you are going to be saying, no, that's not me. No, absolutely. No, there's no way that'd be me. And if that's okay, maybe it is. Maybe you're just not ready to hear it yet. And that's okay too.
Exactly, yeah. And so many times, at different times, I've heard different things from my mentors and I go, oh, why didn't I actually learn that earlier when it was told to me? I just wasn't ready. Yeah. Vanessa's just saying, mine was not investing to start with. I can do it all myself, then over-investing. Thanks for sharing. Terence says, standing out is something for me that is confronting. Yeah, absolutely. Maureen, many of these limiting beliefs we're not even aware of. At least that's my map. Yeah, cool. I'm ready. Bring it on. Megan says, all right, guys. So I said I was going to share quite a few things, and I know I can't believe the clock just runs so quickly on these webinars. When I started doing them, I was like almost worried, how am I going to fill out all this content for an hour? And now I struggle to get through 2 slides because I have so much to say. All right, so obviously we don't have heaps of time to spend on these 5 points that we've promised in this webinar, but we will go through them. And what I like to do is anyway, leave the last 10 minutes for really open Q&A, because there's quite a few of you on the call, nearly at maximum capacity tonight. So I want to address those. So whatever it is you have to ask me, maybe I'll stop now and not take any more comments or questions, but keep them coming in the question box so that when we stop, we can go bang, bang, bang and finish it off. All right. So the 3 key strategies you must undertake to make your brand known, that's number 1. We're going to go through the 1 move that can change and leverage your business, then why you're the secret to your success. The 4th one is why fluffy programs and coaching is stalling your progress, and also how to stop sabotaging your opportunities. So the 4th one we've kind of covered off a little bit, so let's go into the other ones one by one. All right, here we go. 3 key strategies you must undertake to make your brand known. All right, number 1 is a mindset one. Get over yourself, yeah? No one cares about you, yeah? You're the one that cares about yourself, and everyone's just worried about what problem they've got to solve next. So really, they're not looking, or yes, people judge, and they always will, and you just got to take that, with a grain of salt, and you just realize Dr. John DeMartini said, some people are going to like me and some are not, and that's just part of the way the universe is. Everything is equilibrium. And when I heard him say that, that was my penny dropping moment. It was my penny dropping moment to just give up the fact that I needed to be liked by every single person. And so by focusing on service and keep standing up and going out there and talking to people, I built my confidence. Sometimes people say, oh, but Nat, it's okay for you. You're so confident. And I go, what, do you think I was born confident? You think I started this business confident? I was never in business before. I didn't know one person. I had no network when I started 5.5 years ago. So this was just practice, getting out of my comfort zone, talking to people, putting my hand up to be a speaker at speaking events, all of those things. So really the very first step, especially if you're early on in your journey, I mean, certainly I've got strategies that I teach people how to get over themselves. We don't have the time to share tonight, but if you don't, get yourself actually a life coach, because at the beginning of your journey, you actually need more of a life coach than you need a business mentor or a strategist. It's actually, you got to get over the mindset stuff before you get on the strategy stuff. All right, number 2 is learn to love marketing. Realistically, marketing should be 80% of the time, and realistically also, it should begin offline first. A lot of people have approached me over the years. Nat, can you help me please build an online business? I want to make money while asleep. I want to make passive income. How do you do it? Well, I certainly didn't start doing that from day one. It started to eventually evolve from about 2.5 years in. Once I created all the products, I wrote the book, I put myself out there, I built the network, I started growing the Facebook group. Now I can post something up on special day that we've got on Tuesdays, and it gets snapped up within a flash. And we do make money passively all of the time. So, however, that didn't happen straight away. We first became, as I say, you got to become famous offline first before you become famous online. That's so important, because then anything that you do online, people have met you, they're talking behind your back in a good way, hopefully, about what you're doing, and they're starting to refer people. That's how we've actually had people come to our retreats from overseas and from interstate, from towns as far as Townsville and obviously Perth, New Zealand. It's because of word of mouth, and that's a great thing. So learn to love marketing, and marketing early in your business should be taking 80% of your time and everything else 20% of the time. If you're selling your time for money, eventually marketing will be 50% and then you delivering your services 50%. Hopefully then you move on to stage 3, where you are transitioning, like I did a year ago, transitioned out of one-on-one to purely one-to-many, and now marketing is back to 80%. And my delivery of my programs is 20% of my time. So use those little guidelines as to knowing how much to do. The reason you do 80%, 20 in the early days is because you have no clients. So you should be out there promoting and doing as many things as possible to get known and get your brand known. Number 3, and this is a conversation I had with someone the other day where they were talking about outsourcing some marketing for their business. They had they were their own personal brand, and I actually said that's the very, very last thing you outsource. You outsource everything else, bar sales and marketing. That's the very last thing, and sometimes you may not ever outsource that. So what I said, what you need to do, and I'm sorry I'm not giving you the magic bullet, and I'm not making it all seem so easy and rosy. I said, but you got to get your hands dirty. You got to get the hands dirty and do the work. And I'm a true believer that hard work is always rewarded. Last year, I've shared with a lot of people, I did another tour 18 months ago around Australia when I was freshly pregnant with baby number 3. And I went and spoke to eight events. I think it was 5 cities over a period of 8 days. I was throwing up in between most events because I was pregnant in my first trimester, and I came home with zero, with nothing. I did not sell one thing. But the thing was, I did the hard work. And you know what? The hard work eventuated in $150,000 in sales from those particular people that I met. There was about 150 of them. About 6 months later, 4 to 6 months later, those turned into sales. So what I always know now, sometimes you may do a lot of hard work and go, oh my God, there's just nothing, no reward for this. But know that if you keep doing it and you keep repeating it, the universe is watching. I'm a true believer of that. And you will be rewarded, and you just will get it from other places you never expected to get it. So I just really want you to know that that you got to keep persisting. Maureen says, how long did you do free gigs before you started running paid ones? How did you structure your fees? Okay, I'll talk about that question later when I finish the content. Thanks, Maureen, by the way. Beautiful. I said I wasn't going to stop, but I can't help myself. I'm curious what you guys are posting. All right, the one move that can change and leverage your business. So a lot of you guys are from my community, and of course I'm going to say that authoring will change and leverage your business, because that's been my experience. That's been my experience with a lot of my authors, if not all of them. They're growing. I'm so happy to have seen this Desi girl here, Adventures of a Balloon Girl. She announced today on Facebook she's got herself an office in the city. No more working from home. She's got a space to run her workshops there. And when she caught up with us at an event, what was it, about a month ago?
Yeah, not
She
even
told us she had a $16,500 day. I mean, this girl is a pocket rocket. I love how much she's leveraging what she's doing, and I know that it's not just the book. Certainly, it's been lots of other different aspects around it, but it does open so many doors, and it builds the credibility and intimacy so fast. Like I meet people, and literally within 2 or 3 hours, I feel like we're best friends because the instant warmth you feel and they feel towards you, because you're that trusted advisor. You're a person who's gone through this process to bring out a book. You've been disciplined. you're knowledgeable, you're putting yourself out there and you're putting your message out there. Terence, I hope you're listening because I spoke to Terence on Monday or what day it was, and I just said, just get it out there. He's nearly ready with his book. So he's sending me a smiley face. So it doesn't have to be the most perfect thing in the world, even though obviously we get it like bookshops style ready. The thing is, just by the sheer fact that you have this business card on steroids, as Stuart coined the term a few months ago, and I've loved using it because it's so true. And I just keep writing them because I keep growing. Like, I'm on to the 6th book and I already know what the 7th will be. But because I keep growing and evolving on this journey, I feel like if I don't share, I'm being selfish and I'm holding it back. So therefore, I keep bringing them out. And I know that my business just skyrockets because of them. So that's all I'm going to say about the book stuff. And this just ties in really nicely with it, I guess. This is just the proof in the pudding of where a book can take you. And the reason I put this together, I didn't find this mind map anywhere. I actually put it together about all of the different things that I have done as a result of my book. Okay, the preview events, the retreats I've run, the speaking gigs I've been blessed to receive and be a part of, the publicity opportunities, all the social media interactions, and growing my list. I mean, for those of you that don't know, my ultimate 48-hour author book in ebook is on constant Facebook advertising, bringing us 1,000 leads every month. And for those of you that know Facebook advertising, it's converting at 65%. Now that's huge because they say 15 is average, 35% is amazing, and 65 is just like unheard of. Yeah. So that's been a huge thing as to what I do with my books is that open the doors for me. I don't care about a $30 book sale or a $20 or however much you end up offering it at. I care about how am I going to add value to people. So a lot of the time I do my paid events, and then everyone that comes gets a book as a result of attending my event, because I know those people that meet me will want to have will read my book afterwards. All right, we touched on this a month ago on the other webinar. Really wanted to bring it back up here today, but really, you are the secret to your success, okay? And why are you the secret to your success? Because I don't care what business you're in, whether it's product or service, both types of businesses, at the end of the day, people buy you. And a lot of people go, people buy a solution to a problem, and, they go with sort of more external reasons why people buy. But in reality, it's actually quite emotionally connected, and it's because of the person. So I'll just share the 8 reasons why people buy, and you will see that by opening them up, being authenticity, knowledge, skills, price, enthusiasm, energy, confidence, you can see that actually has a lot to do with the personality of the person that is the business owner than it actually has about what problem they're solving. So think about that. I believe that when I look at the way I'm as a marketer and as a salesperson, a lot of the reasons why people actually tell, and I sometimes ask them, why do you think, why did you choose to work with me? Perhaps once they've committed and we've started working together, I'm just curious, why did you, and a lot of the time they say, no, you come across really real and down to earth and authentic. And I love, your enthusiasm. So these are the kind of words that come up for me with people, and definitely the energy aspect of it. Never has someone said, well, certainly, obviously, we solve a specific problem, but on some level, they could have chosen any other business that perhaps solves the problem in a similar way. So this is where I want you to remember, and I know a lot of you on this call are either speakers, coaches, consultants, in a service-based industry. And maybe there's a few, 2 or 3, I think, out of the names that I can see, maybe 2 or 3 product service providers. But realistically, most of you guys, you are the business, and people are buying you. People are buying the essence of you and what you believe and value. All right. Why fluffy programs and coaching is stalling your progress. So, Stuart, you love talking about this one. Give me a 2-minute break for some water.
2-minute break for some water. We've touched on it earlier on, but yeah, it's a lot of people are selling a community. They're selling a support. They're selling a little community and a connection of people. And look, that is great as long as it is also backed up with some substance. So people are getting mentored, and I just said that before too. If you're getting mentored by someone that hasn't actually done what you want to achieve, then it actually is really, really tough for them to get you the results. They might know it in theory, and we can all pick up a textbook and, I can read I'm a keen golfer and I always have been. I can watch any video, I can read any book about it, but unless someone's teaching me, and if they're not a professional, if they're just a friend or they're whatever, you're actually going to do worse job. They might have the best intentions, but they're not going to actually get you the results that you want to do. So fluffy is something that is quite easy to sell, especially those in the service-based industry. And it can look, it's not a sexist comment at all, guys. It's just realistic. That is mainly women who are in that sort of position. And one of the things, I guess, where Natasha certainly isn't fluff. I'm probably more fluff than her. I'm the nurturer of our clients that normally come along to our retreats and things like that. But she is the results driven. So yeah, a little bit of fluff's always nice, but it's got to have that background with it, because we just keep seeing people they come and they say, yeah, but I've done mentoring, I've had all of these programs, I've done all of these things, and we find out what it was. And again, they were always getting made to feel really great. They've never got a bad word to say about the other mentors or the other programs that they did, but they haven't got results and they're back where they were because there was never actually any substance and any direction, any plans or exact things that you need to be doing in there to actually make you start to progress. Yeah. And the reason why, just quickly in that, before you're ready to take back over, is because they don't want you to be uncomfortable and they don't want to make you do hard stuff or challenging stuff, because they know that you might then be challenged or feel a bit uncomfortable or awkward, and they don't want to make you feel like that.
Or is it actually, now this has just popped up in my mind as you're talking, is it the fact that they don't want you to outgrow them?
Could possibly be as well.
And therefore they lose you as a client.
But it becomes the lovely word that someone I can't think who now used. It's friend-touring. You're just a group of friends getting together and talking. Yeah, friend-touring.
I love it.
Talking about business rather than actually getting there and
getting down
from
to
A to
business.
B. Getting down to business.
What I believe is you do a program or you say do stuff with a mentor. You do the thinking in that program. You do the planning or whatever it is, like with our upcoming, and then it's all action. You leave that course, you leave that session, you go and take action. It's no more thinking. The thinking is done in the coaching session or the mentoring session or the 2-day, 3-day training, however long it is. The thinking happens then it's all about the action.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So the last one I want to cover off as we go through, and then we'll open up. There's quite a few comments and questions we're going to address. So how to stop sabotaging your opportunities. So you're probably thinking, why the hell did Nat put this parent little family photo here, and what does it all mean? Well, on some level, and certainly was my situation as well, and this might open up a couple of little wounds for people on the call, but I have found in myself and other people that the reason they self-sabotage is because on some level they're honoring and being in rapport with one of their parents. Okay? Now think about that. So honoring, we have deep love and connection for our parents. It doesn't matter whether we have a good or not so good relationship. At some level, deeply, subconsciously, we have this deep connection and love for them. And what we want to do is save them from any suffering. And on some level, a lot of people see suffering might be if I'm better than mum and dad. So if I'm more successful than mum and dad, then I'm on some level dishonoring them or not being in rapport with one or the other. Okay? And this was the case with me and my father. You know, I'm very much all the time in rapport with him and my mum on some level, both of them. And until we can break free, and this is where some of the change work with, say, a person who would help with your mindset and some of your self-sabotage patterns would assist you in breaking through those, is for you actually to consciously understand that the umbilical cord was cut however many years ago you were born. Okay, and that you're your own person, you're creating your own success. And I don't know for how many of you on this call are parents, but ask yourself the question: would you want your child to be more successful, to do better than you? I know what my answer is. I know that I want my children to be better than me. And the fact of the matter is that each and every generation evolves to be smarter, evolves to be more developed, and to achieve and be there to create greater things and greater opportunities, because they've learned from the previous generation's mistakes, and obviously with the technology, becoming more sophisticated and all that stuff. So ask yourself that question: are you on some level being in rapport with one of your parents? Emotionally, sometimes, I remember last year when I was pregnant with my third child and mum was downsizing her house, I felt that she felt she was in this big period of uncertainty. What will I do? How will I support myself? I'm downsizing. I'm selling everything that I have. Whereas I was at a stage where, oh my God, I'm the only person that goes out there and is the face of the business and generates majority of the sales. I'm going to have a baby number 3. How are we going to keep this up? I was in the same period of uncertainty, and we were sitting there in Bali during this period of uncertainty. I wasn't feeling very good, even though I was on holidays. And we're both whinging to one another. And I realized that, and the penny dropped. And I go, oh my God, we're in total rapport. And this is some of the stuff that I worked with my third mentor, and broke through, and then created that 7-figure business in turnover last year. So that's what I just want to, I know now I've gone deep, and some of you are probably sitting back there and reflecting on your own parents and in your own life and all of that sort of stuff that may be happening. But I believe that's one of the reasons why we self-sabotage. It's we keep ourselves small, so on some level that perhaps, will dishonor our parents. I'd love to know a couple of your thoughts on that, but there's more comments here, so I will go through some of the stuff here. All right, guys, so just to recap, as we said, for every problem there is a solution. And these were the 7 problems that we talked about. The over-investing, under-implementing, jumping steps too early in business before you're ready for those steps, not investing at all, thinking you can do it all yourself, waiting for your ducks to line up, doing the wrong program, so the fluffy stuff, fear of success and standing out, and limiting beliefs. So why are we telling you this? Because a few of you on this call are already joining us at an amazing Ultimate Brand Accelerator Masterclass. And that is what we're doing. Now, this is not a program that's going to make you overinvest. I'm bringing these 2 days because I want to reach out to as many people as possible to be able to, and this is going to be a big event, by the way. We are anticipating somewhere between 60 to 80 people in the room. We already have got 40. And more are coming through as we're speaking. So you're gonna have as I said, 50-page workbook. And we are going to be doing some funny things. There's going to be wearing of purple hair. Well, shh. And there's going to be some.
Just give it away.
No. Well, there's going to be some singing and stuff like that. It's going to be very experiential. And the topics that we will cover over those 2 days would be the word of mouth explosion formula. So this is relevant to absolutely everyone in business. But we go in order of how I would execute them if I was, earlier on in business and then later on. Then we go into social media for profit, lead magnets that build your list, so creating a lead magnet, and then working out how you can develop products further and unpack your products for passive income. Then if you want to run events, how to get those bums on seats. A lot of people for the last 18 months have been dying to get information on how I get to do all these events and run them and fill them and all that. So to reveal some information, I have a special guest from Queensland coming to talk to us. She's the meetup queen, and she will be joining us for the whole 2 days, but she'll have a special little segment I want her to share with people there. Sales funnels that lead to automated income. So how to set up your sales funnel correctly, and you will do that on the day. Your speaking success system, and I've got another awesome person who has had a lot of professional speaking done, as well as I'll share some of my insights, as well as we'll talk a little bit about mindset and change within that section. How to reach out to the media and win. So this is, as you can see, this is more towards the end of it, because I don't want to teach this kind of stuff at the very beginning, because you're not ready. You've got to go through each of the steps, and this is how I would execute them. If I was a new business owner, I would get good at number 1 first, then get good at number 2, then get good at number 3, and so on and so forth. And certainly you can be working on 3 or 4 at any one time. And last of all, we'll go through scaling your business through joint ventures. So unless your business is well set up, and that's only really happened in the last 12 to 18 months, I haven't really formulated any profitable joint ventures prior to that. However, and I'm talking, obviously there's different types of joint ventures. I'm talking about those that bring in 6 figures of income upon execution, and that's what I'm talking about. So scaling your business is so important, so you can replace yourself and earn back that time. So for those people who choose to join us tonight, you will get every single book of mine. Now the 4 up there, you'll get an ebook instantly, and the blue one you'll get when you arrive at the venue. So that's all valued at $97. You will also receive the e-version of my product generator manual. So this is a 100-page manual with all worksheets for you to create your own intellectual property products, as well as training footage. So I have delivered this manual with a full day of training that I filmed. This was a couple of years ago, but I have got that available, and that's instantly received. So I would share these via a Dropbox with you, those bonuses. Those of you that are already coming, that are on this call, please don't feel that you're going to miss out. Everyone will get that comes to the masterclass. So I will send those through. So the investment for tonight only is $247 for these 2 days. Let me just click out of this for a second so I can copy this link, guys. So I can put it into the chat box so you can register yourself. All right, here we go. Perfect. Yes, so it's just $247. So it's definitely, in my view, I can easily charge $4,000 to $5,000 for a program such as this. That's not the point, though. I want to continue adding to my community. And if you don't think you've got value out of at any time, you can stay there for the 2 days, and at the end of it, say to me, Nat, that was total crap. I want my money back. I'll give you your money back. That's no worries at all. So what I'll do now, guys, I'll leave this slide up, and I'm going to go through all of your questions and comments. For those of you that are not sure, your little chat box contains this link that we've got here down at the bottom of the screen. So we have got perfectly just on 10 minutes to go. Let's have a look at all the questions and comments. All right, there's quite a few. All right, Maureen, so we'll go back to that first comment that was there posted earlier before. How long did you go? Did you do free gigs before you started running paid ones? How did you structure your fees? So, Maureen, I always do free speaking gigs. I actually have only had one huge paid speaking gig at a corporate event, which actually fell into my lap. So don't look out for those because they're not part of my strategy. I do my low-cost events, which are, $49. Sometimes I do a $30 ticket, and they get a copy of my book. But I only charge that amount so I get them in the room. Because as my experience was running some free events with Robert Curry the last few weeks, we did 6 over the last couple of months, which did fantastic as well. However, the turn-up rate was less than 20% of the free tickets. All our VIP ticket holders turned up, which was $97 a ticket, but the others, 20% only showed up. And I decided at the end of those 6 events, I will never do another free event again, at least some kind of a low-cost investment. Certainly, I give them amazing bonuses. Like I give them not just a book. At the end of the night, I say, you're going to get this email with X, Y, and Z. And it's like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. So the investment is there for the commitment that will turn up. And that way, 95 to 98% of people turn up. I hope that makes sense. Do you ever run out of material? I'm struggling. Never. And actually, that's what Stuart said to me when when he joined me in the business, because he was going to do copywriting and blogging for us and articles. And he said, how do you, like, one day don't you run out of material? No, you never do. What I would do, guys, I would suggest Google what your expertise is on. Read a few articles that other people have written, make sense out of them. You bring in your own examples, and bang, you have your own unique article. I mean, nothing is new in this world. Everything is reshaped with your own character and your own examples in it. So no, you never run out.
Admittedly, back then you were making me write them on weight loss, which
was right.
maybe not quite down my alley.
Yes, cool.
That was the copy. I noticed that one that Megan asked. That was a copy of the mind map. So we'll definitely send all the slides out.
Oh, yeah, I'll send this whole PowerPoint with a lot of people, guys, are waiting on this recording. As I said, in the US, they could not get up that early. So I said, don't you worry. I said, as soon as we got off the call, we'll get it up on YouTube and then share the slides. By the way, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, then everything that I do, like the coffee chats, because they go out publicly, then you'll get a notification that something's gone up and you can have a listen. Cool. Maureen says, Stuart, if we need to have achieved a certain level to be able to coach on it, how do we get to that point without faking it till we make it?
Look, you've got to, whatever area of life that you're coaching on, you must be authentic in that you have been able to have reached it before. You've been able to, you've had
Even
success.
In your personal life.
Personal life, yeah. You've got to have had that success at some stage in it. Of course, in early days, it's a lot harder to have been able to say, hey, here are the results that I've got on the board. Certainly your testimonials, everything. The one thing I personally do find a little bit incongruent when people that are struggling to make 5 figures are claiming that they can get their clients to 6 or 7 figures. That's my biggest one, where I find that's they really lose me immediately with that. So that's probably the biggest example where that really does frustrate me. With other things that, it can be, as long as you've achieved a level of success in some area of your life, you can certainly be able to mentor and coach on.
Well, I think for those of you that are life coaches on here, you've all had a life, and you've all overcome certain parts of that life. So generally we tend to attract the problems that we have also overcome ourselves. So in that way, you're right. In life coaching, it's like, well, if you've done it yourself and you have achieved a certain level of mindfulness and mindset within what you do, then it's fine to be able to coach it. And if you need more testimonials, do more pro bono, but not too much, because otherwise you won't feel good about, you feel like people are you're being used. But business coaching is totally different, and I really wanted to play in that world when I started out, but I couldn't. I did not have any score on the board. I couldn't say, yes, I've helped these people, and no, and so therefore I had to put that on the back burner, get the success to the weight loss business, and then all of a sudden I started attracting, guess what? Health and wellness businesses who wanted to be mentored on what I had done. So see, I had, even though I didn't advertise it, all of a sudden they were noticing me and saying, well, you did really well in health and wellness. How can you help me? And then I could say, okay, do this as step 1, do this as step 2, because then I had already gone through those steps myself. I trust that's helpful. Jonathan says, I must have action phobia. Yep, well.
Just go into his next one.
His next one. Would you consider doing this in Brisbane sometimes? Unfortunately not, Jonathan. And I actually have 3 or 4 people already coming from Brisbane. For those of you that are interstate, we have got accommodation at the venue. It's at Doncaster and it is at the Quest. So they have given us special rates for, obviously, I think there's limited amount of rooms. I will be running this again. However, I have not got dates. Please don't ask me for that. This is the launch of it. I don't know if it's going to be again at this price. It's basically, obviously, I'm doing it at a lower price point, as I will want to collect those testimonials and feedback at the end of it, and have the amazing experience. So sorry to say that, but people are flying down for this, and I think with twin share rooms, it's down to about $80 a night at the venue, and ample parking, guys. There's just parking, abundance of parking. Megan said, definitely, I want my children to be better than me. Absolutely. Maureen says, can that honouring and being in rapport with our parents also be with my husband? I don't want to emasculate. I'm of that generation.
Might not be in rapport with, but it will certainly be something, whereas I can understand what you're saying with that one. You might have the belief that I had as well. So for you to become big, that will mean your husband's got to become small.
Yeah.
So that's actually not the case if you actually start to just swing it around. So someone doesn't have to be less for you to be more.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's not the same way that we have the rapport with the parents.
Yeah.
But it might be more in that sense that you don't want him to feel less about himself because you're more about yourself. But that also will come down to him. You know, a lot of the guys, to be honest, we work with a lot of people where it's the woman is the one that's got the drive or the focus, or because women have been more empowered and they've been ready to go out and grab their business by themselves, and a lot of men can be more just in their employee mindset, or they need to almost see some things happening before they get on board. That was me 5 years ago. I did certainly see that, and it took me a good 6, 8, 10 months before I sort of looked at what Nat was doing and went, oh yeah, okay, that's something that I can get on board with.
I think I'm more like 12 or 18
Shut up.
months. 12 or 18 months. All right. Yeah, beautiful. So true, Vanessa says. Yeah, I think, but the people we attract as our partners, we so deserve them. Okay? I totally believe that. And the biggest key, I think the secret to any relationship is acceptance. Accept who the other person is for everything that they are. They just are. You know, yes, there's things that are going to frustrate us, and it's okay for us to express frustration. But the thing is, if you accept, you're going to be much happier and more just at ease person. Hey, Stephanie, it's been a while. Congrats on your awesome success. She goes, I'm looking forward to connecting on the 28th. Yay, I look forward to having you there. Thank you. And I rock, apparently. Awesome. All right.
Suck.
No, it's rock. Cool. So I've gone through every single comment there, guys. Here we go. One other one. Please feel free to post a couple of others. We're happy to stick around for an extra 5 minutes. Wisdom says, interesting, no kids yet, but I would definitely want my kids to be more robust and successful than me. We attract who we are. Acceptance brings freedom. Yeah, very nicely said, Wisdom. I think, you know, life does change when we have children, and gosh, you know, you nurture them and you educate them so they can be.
One really great insight, I believe it is, for a lot of you guys that are parents out there, don't have the belief also that if you're to become more successful and your business is going to take off, you're not going to be worse or less of a parent to your children. Your children aren't going to love you any less.
Yes.
So a lot of people, that's one of the biggest self-sabotaging things that people do. I will deliberately, and it's all subconscious, I'm not going to do the things that I know I need to do, because look, a lot of people we work with and we have contact with are smart enough people, and they deliberately go about and pretend they don't know what they need to do to get the success that they want to achieve, because they want to think, oh, but then I won't see my children as much, or I won't do that. Yeah, it might be like that for a little while, but your children are going to see a driven, confident, powerful person that knows what they want. They're going to go out and they do that. You're actually teaching the kids to be the best that they can be, rather than teaching them just to take it easy.
Yeah, I agree. And actually one thing that I didn't put down as the problem before, and I want to bring it up now as this has come about, is the misalignment of values. Why a lot of businesses struggle to succeed. Actually, I think this probably might be even the biggest one, is that they don't place their business in the number one position on their values. And certainly and that's very relevant for parents, especially mums, who perhaps may be the CEO of the household and need to take care of the household in every regard. And they always put their children first and family time first before they put the business. And if they can just switch that around for a certain period of time, well, I felt I really had to prioritize education of myself and the actions that I was taking around the business for the first couple of years. Really, like I felt really quite lost around, being around for my children and my husband, and that's the truth. However, deep down, I knew that this would be our ticket to having more time. For those of you that don't know us, we are right down to working 8.5 months of the year and having 3.5 months off. Basically, as soon as we finish our retreat, 22nd of November, we have no more scheduled appointments till end of January when kids restart at school. And then we go away on a big trip middle of the year for 5 weeks. Either this year was Europe, next year might be the US, and lots of mini holidays everywhere. So we still work hard. There is still those moments, those 10 days that just passed, where I didn't see or have much connection with my family, and I miss them a lot because I tend to get more time with them nowadays. But then I come home, and then we've got these next 3 or 4 days off, and we have quite cruisy 2 or 3 weeks before we have another intense 7 to 10 day period.
Forgot we're going to the Gold Coast for 10 days.
We're going on. Yeah, we're going on the Gold Coast. Oh, I forgot that. It's too far away. It's 3 weeks away. We're going on the Gold Coast 31st of October for 11 days. Actually, for those of you that might be on the call from Brizzy, I'm coming up and doing my half-day intro author event on the 10th of November. So if you want more info on that, just send me an email so I can send you a link. We've got the pretty page up and all that sort of stuff. So that's just the values. The values are misaligned because if you're going to look after your family first and not your business, then you're going to have less activity and action taking towards that. That doesn't mean like if your family was in trouble or not well or life-threatening situation, you wouldn't be there. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you keep doing that first before anything else, generally the business will not evolve as fast or get you to the lifestyle you want as rapidly.
Just before you read the other comments, and
yes.
I know we're over time,
yes.
And don't think that if you're just sitting there with your children in the same room and they're on an iPad and you're on your iPhone and you're both staring at a TV or you're both doing totally different things, that's not quality time, that's just quantity time. So you may as well be off doing something more important and have a better connection with them and actually be present when you're there.
So I said that in the first year of having a baby, I felt at one point in time it was all quantity time because I didn't have the business in the first year of having my first child, and I was just like, that's what I said to Stu when he'd come home from his day job back then. I'd say, oh my God, like I feel like I'm wasting away. I just feel quantity time, not really interested in being interactive with my child because I just have too much of him. And, I want to miss him and I want to come back and, and then have that playtime. So yeah, there's a balance of both worlds. I'm just going to read the last few comments and let you guys go. I'm very respectful of your time. And, of course, if you need to go, please go. Steph says, wow, that's mine. Megan says, I was fortunate to have parents who always encouraged me to follow my dreams, therefore enjoy my success.
Awesome.
I love it, Megan. Vanessa says, thanks for that. She's awesome. I feel so guilty.
Sometimes I feel guilty.
And she says, offering that to my family, it's my ultimate success. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Those were the last comments. Well, thank you for being everyone has really stuck around right to the end. It's amazing. That just tells me that you guys have enjoyed this call, that you've received value. The very last slide is always like to finish up on a quote, and this has been a favorite lately, and that is that people don't buy what you sell. They buy what you believe and really what you value. Okay, so people buy you, what you believe, and what you value. Guys, have an awesome night. I'll post this recording up. Probably worthwhile re-listening to it again because our brain only picks up only about 10 to 15% of what we've said. I think there's a lot of insights we've shared here that might actually have the penny drop for you.
And re-listen and be honest with yourself and really do answer the questions. Is this you? Have you done that, or are you still doing some of the things that we're talking about?
Fongus from Brisbane, I know, and she got stuck with the daylight savings. She says I totally missed it. I'm posting it up on YouTube, Fonga, and I reckon it'll be up in half an hour. So look up my YouTube channel and I'll be emailing it out very soon after. All right, beautiful people, have an awesome night, and we'll catch you around next time around. And some of you, see you at the masterclass.
Bye.
Bye.